Welcome to Twin Peaks Radio, the show where we remember, in the words of Major Garland Briggs, a real mystery can't be solved, not completely. It's always just out of reach, like a light around the corner. You might catch a glimpse of what it reveals, feel its warmth, but you can't know the heart of it, not really. That's what gives it value. It can't be cracked. It's bigger than you and me, bigger than everything we know. Or, like everyone else doing a podcast or video series on Twin Peaks, let us pretend we can solve all of it if we just keep beating our heads against it. I am Professor Robert E.G. Black, and today, let's start in Louisiana Territory. The Missouri Gazette, September 21st, 1808. It has been announced that on this date, a charter has been granted for the founding of the first St. Louis Masonic Lodge, Lodge 111. Meriwether Lewis, a famous explorer and current governor of the Upper Louisiana Territory, is noted on the charter as its first master. The archivist, of course, says, this appeared at the bottom of the third page of the paper as a minor news item. Blah, blah, blah. These theories suggest that there were two esoteric organizations vying for future control of the developing nation, one with positive democratic intentions for its citizens, Freemasons, and the other malign, the Bavarian Illuminati, interested only in enriching its elite class at the expense of the general populace. Opposing ideologies, it might well be said, which continue that struggle to this day. Let me just say, I haven't gotten back to the pilot episode of Twin Peaks yet because my wife and I are taking a slow go through season 3. I think the more the show goes, it's less her thing. And I figured that, but she's putting up with it, so it's fun. So what I wanted to talk about today was these two things. It's sort of the start of a longer conversation about Freemasons and the Illuminati. It took my brain to lots of different places before I even get to the first episode, although I will mention something from that episode. The Norwegians. We'll work backward. Why Norwegians, specifically? Well, if you know your alien abduction lore, and yes, there's alien abductions in Twin Peaks and not just Major Briggs. 1947, Margaret Coulson, Carl Rodd, and Alan Traherne were abducted. They were found by Andrew Packard's scouting troop. She ended up with a mark on her leg that we see in the show. We don't know if Carl got a mark or if Alan got a mark. You will know Carl. He's at the trailer park. We wouldn't know Alan. I would note that he is named after a fictional character, James Caan's character from El Dorado. The thing is, you gotta treat Twin Peaks like a dream. All of these things go together. The two warring secret societies, the two lodges, different kinds of aliens. And if you know your alien abduction lore, you know that one of them is the Nordics. They're the more humanoid ones, kind of hippie-ish. They're always about enlightenment, giving things to humanity and pushing humanity to do better. Like the Giant, the Fireman, the White Lodge, the Freemasons. And then I drift into the Bavarian Illuminati. I'll give more details on the two groups in actually the next episode. I'm planning this more detailed part next. But I wanted to overview it first. And the Bavarian Illuminati, because just the name, from Bavaria, Bavarian, had me thinking about barovia. Because at the moment I'm prepping probably it's going to be in podcast form, but a D&D campaign of Curse of Strahd, an expanded version. And so my brain keeps conflating Twin Peaks the town and Barovia. They both have two mountains that are dominant. Mount Baratok and Mount Gakis. Whitetail and Blue Pine. They both have waterfalls. They both involve an evil entity chasing after a girl who isn't quite what she seems. Secret societies in Barovia, too. The Bald Verze, the Keepers of the Black Feather, a few others. Just like we have more than just the two. Maybe these are just tropes that fit in stories. Because where do you go? What makes a place mystical? Mountains. Because a mountain is where the prophets go to receive enlightenment. Perhaps from Nordic aliens. What do we have on Blue Pine Mountain? Major Briggs' listening post. The Sycamore Grove is nearby. And then you got Jackrabbit's Palace as well. So what do we have? Competing groups. Good and evil. Go back to Plato and the Phaedrus' his chariot allegory. Riding the chariot with the dark horse and the white horse. One pulls you up, one pulls you down. What matters is which horse you let take over. What matters in Twin Peaks? Who do you let tell you what to do? The Black Lodge, the White Lodge. Good and evil. The angel and the devil on your shoulders. I actually wrote a paper that was published comparing the basic use of the angel and devil on the shoulders of cartoon characters to Plato's chariot allegory. I didn't use Twin Peaks in that paper because I hadn't watched it in a while. Wasn't thinking of it, wasn't on my mind. It would have fit. It also won't fit as we go. We'll see. There's one moment that always bugs me when I try to think of the Black Lodge and the White Lodge as good and evil. Is when the man from another place, the arm, is sitting next to the giant, the fireman, and he says one and the same.
One and the same.
Or maybe that line is the whole point. It's not good and evil. It's like the chariot allegory. It's not that the black horse wins or the white horse wins. That you let one of them win. Two wolves thing gets attributed to different Native American tribes. You have two wolves inside you. One is good, one is evil. It's not that one is stronger than the other. It's that you feed one more than you feed the other. You make one stronger. Maybe you do it without meaning to, like Leland Palmer. Maybe you do it deliberately, like Wyndham Earle. But that's the thing, Twin Peaks the town has these two peaks looking down. But amusingly, I believe, I'll double check the geography before next episode, both Glastonbury Grove and Jackrabbit's Palace are at the base of the same mountain. So there's two peaks, but one of them gives you the doorways to both lodges. Anyway, I'm going to kind of have a little fun for a few episodes before I actually get to watching the pilot again and talking specifically about it and going through the series, and it's going to be interesting because I've read Secret History now, I've read the Death Panel Dossier, and I like taking Frost's details and making them work with Lynch's details, and treating it at the same time like a dream and a complicated reality, and understanding the mystery. Because remember, mystery is the most essential ingredient of life. Mystery creates wonder, which leads to curiosity, which in turn provides the ground for our desire to understand who and what we truly are. This has been a production of Lemming Drops Studio. You can find links to more at lemmingdrops.com. Follow the show on Twitter at Peaks Radio and on Facebook at Twin Peaks Radio, or join the Facebook group Lemming Drops Studio Tour. Also, the owls may not be what they seem, but they still serve an imperative function. They remind us to look into the darkness.